there will be a forever ache in my heart, and she will be never forgotten. I mean, her impact has been so far reaching, and actually farther reaching than I realized.
The strange disappearance of a social media influencer ends with a disturbing, deadly discovery. Detectives in Houston are still piecing together what happened to 26-year-old Alexis Robinault, also known as Alexis Sharkey, to her tens of thousands of Instagram followers. On Saturday morning, a government employee spotted Sharkey's body by the road in an industrial area of West Houston near Interstate 10. The same day, her mother, Stacy Robinault, shared a post reporting the young woman missing.
What do I remember about that day, except for, those things you regret, the thing of, oh, I haven't responded back about her coming to Christmas, because we were talking on Wednesday. I got to get back with her and get that finalized. And we were just settling in after decorating for Christmas, and then we got the horrible call that she was missing.
According to Houston police detectives, Alexis was wearing no clothing and showed no signs of visible wounds. How she died is still under investigation.
I don't understand. I am 100% confident that this is something that my child did not do to herself. And I don't know. I don't know what I don't even know. I can't comprehend how she got where she was in the manner she was.
Shocked family and friends have taken to social media to express their grief over the sudden loss of a woman who freely shared her love of travel, self-care, and fashion with the world through her Instagram account.
And you're supporting people instead of large middleman chains.
She was incredibly intelligent. She graduated summa cum laude from college in a biology degree. She is very analytical and logical, a loving human being that just lit up everywhere.
Online, she often featured her husband, Tom Sharkey, seen here in a travel video on her YouTube page last year at a Colorado national monument. The pair posed together in this Halloween costume photo 5 weeks ago. Friends of the couple say Alexis was seeking a divorce. Meanwhile, Stacy says she won't rush to make theories on who is responsible, focusing instead on justice for Alexis.
In my desperation and lack of a lot of information, starting to make assumptions, and I don't want to do that. I just want to wait and follow what the investigators do.
Joining us now, Court TV legal correspondent Julia Janae back with us, and Court TV special contributor Ashley Banfield. Julia, let's start with the latest from police in Houston. What are they saying tonight?
Vinny, we have been checking in with them over the last 2 days. They won't go on the record with anything more right now than what they put out in that tweet yesterday. And what they said was that the autopsy is pending and that, again, there were no visible wounds, no clothes on the body that they found. And they say that they will update when anything else comes out. So we haven't heard anything more than that from Houston police, but we do know that that is pending, and can't stress enough that at this point they have not determined that this is foul play. They also have not named any kind of suspects or suspicious persons. Of course, they are asking anyone with information to reach out and contact them.
Ashley, what's your first impression of this case?
Well, whenever I hear about a naked woman found on the side of the road dead, I rarely think that it's anything other than foul play. That said, I suppose strange things can happen, but I have looked at her social media Instagram account, and it doesn't appear to me that there's anything other than a fun-loving, happy, full of life young woman who's got loads of friends and travels all over the place. She's got 54,000 followers. Her last post was on November 22nd. She was in Tulum, Mexico, and the vacation looked pretty good. Not only that, but a lot of her other posts show her with a ton of girlfriends doing all sorts of fun stuff. So it's, looks can be deceiving, social media can be deceiving, but if you're going to end up naked dead on the side of the road, you would think there would be some indication somewhere that things weren't right. And I gotta be honest, Vinny, and I hate to say it, but it's just the way it is. When this kind of thing happens, if there's any kind of marital discord, and even if there isn't, police will often look first to the husband and then also to family members, perhaps his family members, perhaps an affair, a girlfriend. These are all the things that are top on the list of an investigation.
All right, Julia, did her mother know that she was contemplating divorce? And what has her husband said about any of this?
She had not had any discussion about divorce with her daughter. She thinks that it's possible her daughter was waiting until the Christmas break to have that kind of discussion in person with her. The couple had been married about a year, known each other for 2 years. She did say that they've had interactions with him. Tom Sharkey has posted on social media the devastation that he feels over the loss of his wife. He's talked to local stations there in Houston, KHOU. He told them that he's been receiving death threats because of the national attention that his wife's death has received, and that he was, when he saw her last, that she was alive, and he just instructed her to not drink and drive. That's what he has said about his interaction or role with his wife. And we asked her mother what her impression of Tom Sharkey has been. Take a listen.
I know that when we spend time together, we enjoy him and we've had fun with him. I know that I've never been fearful of my child around him. You know, that's not ever a vibe that we've gotten from him. He works internationally, and so he comes and goes a lot. But really, to simplify it, I'm very neutral on that. I'm not. I know people very hard when I interview are trying to push me to see if I have these concerns about him, and we never did.
You know, she's so strong. Through the course of that interview, you can see that she really is just determined to get answers. She says people have been reaching out over social media in response to her posts, giving her information that she didn't know that she thinks is going to be helpful in this investigation.
Ashley, you know, in this situation, it's so early on that there's so many unanswered questions at this point. You know, but he's still under attack, you know, on social media and other places. We understand people will do that. But at this point, I think the first question really has to be, how did she die?
Sure. And they can walk and chew gum at the same time. They're going to be wondering about that autopsy, but they're going to be looking at everything, combing social media, combing perhaps whatever evidence they may be able to find in the family home. Maybe they have subpoenaed the cell phones and the computers from the residents. You know, I covered this story a couple of years ago in Houston of a Houston realtor who went missing, and she had a good relationship with her husband. However, they were split, living together for the sake of the children, but split, and she had a boyfriend. And, you know, it was such a mysterious disappearance. Ultimately, it ended up being the husband and not the boyfriend, even though it looked like it might be the boyfriend. So looks can be deceiving. Things can sound odd. I think it's terrible that this husband is getting death threats. We are, you know, innocent till proven guilty in this country. I hate to even have to say that out loud, but you do. It is sad that that's what the social media world, you know, thinks to do first. But the truth of the matter is that investigators will look to him first just to clear him if they can. I think this is a story that we should stay on because oftentimes, I mean, listen, I have done this job a long time. And it doesn't often take too long before arrows start pointing towards suspects and investigations start zeroing in.
Absolutely. Julia, the other challenge here for the family is this family's not from Texas, right? They're from Pennsylvania, and they want to bring her back there. What challenges have they faced?
Right, Stacey, Ramadan is there in Pennsylvania. That's where the bulk of their family lives, and their goal is, of course, to either get to Texas or to bring her remains back to Pennsylvania once the investigation is done. She says there, of course, are challenges with that. One of the most difficult things in talking to her about this story is that she hadn't seen her daughter since last Christmas, and not for lack of trying, but because of COVID-19 restrictions on travel, that they kept pushing the date back, and this coming Christmas was going to be a time that they would all be together. She talked about the overwhelming support that people have made on a GoFundMe page that friends have set up to help support this family and get them the help that they need in this trying time.
So
we'll move heaven and earth and do what we've got to do to get down there and to get her here. It's not going to be a cheap affair at all. And so the girls already knew that. And so they started this to aid us and help us in the whole process. You don't expect to bear your child.
And right now, there's so much uncertainty in this case, Vinny, but what she let us know is that she really just wants her daughter to be remembered like the light that she was, even though she had this social media following and people who saw her as what Ashley was saying, just someone who's beautiful and having fun and traveling. She said really in her heart, she was this giving person who would do anything for anyone, who was playful and really made others around her feel comfortable.
all right, Court TV legal correspondent Julie Janae, thanks so much.